Hey guys, Prowl1701 here, and today let's talk about 2025 a bit. And I'm going to kind of just rank the things I'm excited about, kind of from worst to best. It's really just 4 things I can think of. We have, of course, the Season 7 box set coming out. We have the Savages coming, the animation for the Savages. We also will probably get a second collection box set later in the year. We also have Season 2 of the Disney Who series going to drop sometime or another, probably in the spring. And then maybe some outlier stuff, like we'll probably get confirmation at some point this year whether or not there will be a Season 3, whether or not we'll get a Christmas special. I don't know if they've already started working on a Christmas special or not for next year. I don't know. I'm curious about that. And then, who knows, we may get another animation announcement toward the end of the year. Maybe Shapeshifter Studio will do another 3D animation. I don't know how well the Celestial Toymaker one was received, and I don't know how well it did financially. I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. I have the Steelbook. I'm very happy with that purchase and what they did with it, but I don't know what the general reception was. And, I don't know how well it sold, but I'd love for perhaps 3D... for Shapeshifter Studios to do another 3D production, especially if they make another leap in quality like they did from Web of Fear Episode 3 to Celestial Toymaker. If they can make that kind of jump again, I'd be curious to see what they could do with some of the stories that would probably have to be done in 3D. So ranking those main 4, though, from least interested in to most interested in, I'd say in 4th place is Season 2 of Disney Who. And that's not to crap on it. I don't mean that as a bad thing. Season 1, Shooty-Gatwa's first season, was a mixed bag for me. But by mixed bag, I do mean I liked part of it. I found 73 Yards and Dot and Bubble to be very good. I really enjoyed them. Fantastic Doctor Who episodes. I also enjoyed Devil's Cord and Boom. I thought those were good. But on the other side of the spectrum, I thought Space Babies was pretty bad. It has some stuff I liked. The chemistry between the Doctor and Ruby is fantastic. They have some great scenes together, but for the most part, I thought Space Babies was pretty terrible. Rogue, I didn't like at all. Although the guy playing Rogue is good in it. And him and Shooty-Gatwa do have good chemistry together. I didn't really care for The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I thought it was alright at the time, but I knew my retroactive thoughts were going to be dependent on how good the season finale was, and the season finale was underwhelming. One of the worst season finales Doctor Who has ever had. Very, very underwhelming. Waste a great classic Doctor Who villain. However, I will always enjoy the fact we got Gabriel Wolf back. It does get points for that. But very much the poster child of a mixed bag of a season, like so much of Doctor Who has been the past 10 years or so. With really the only season Doctor Who has put out in the past decade that I would say is just consistently good. Probably being Series 12, aside from that god-awful finale. Series 12, I think, is consistently pretty strong. I am excited about it because I'm willing to bet. I don't know if Season 2 is supposed to be 8 episodes or 10 episodes. I'm sure somebody can tell me. I don't know. I suspect there will at least be 3 or 4 good ones in there. I would imagine. If it's 8 episodes, I'll get at least 3 good ones. If it's 10 episodes, I'll get at least 4 good ones. I suspect there will be some good ones. But I also suspect it to be another mixed bag season where they're going to do episodes that I just don't care for. And it's probably going to have a season finale that underwhelms me. That's just kind of par for the course in Modern Who at this point. They're not very good at season finales. But I enjoyed Shooty-Gatwa in the role. I don't always like the way his Doctor is characterized, but I do think he's a good actor. I'm looking forward to seeing more what they do with his Doctor. I'm looking forward to seeing the new companion. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ruby does in this season, as we know she's in this season some. So I am looking forward to it. I'm just not as fired up about it as the other 3 things I'm going to talk about. Part of this is simply because I'm more of a classic Doctor Who fan than I am a modern Doctor Who fan overall. So I get far more excited about classic Doctor Who, whether you want to cite it as nostalgia or whether you want to cite it as just it was written better back then, which it typically was, and with a Doctor that I'm much more fond of. Again, you could say partially nostalgia in some cases, and partly just I like the way a lot of the classic Doctors are characterized better. So I'm excited for Season 2, just not as excited as I am for some of the stuff I'm going to talk about next. Number 3 on the list is the Savages animation. I've never seen the Savages. It's one of the 2 classic Doctor Who stories I've never seen. And I've never read the novelization of it either. So I'm kind of going in not completely blind, because some of the stuff was given away in the press release about what's going on. But it is one I haven't experienced yet. The animation looks decently good. Not as good as some of the animations we've gotten, like Macroterra, Evil of the Daleks, the Moon Base, and several of the others. But it still looks good. I wonder now that, since they have a deal with someone else, if the budget's not as large for the animation as it used to be. But it doesn't look bad by any means. It looks fine. And I am excited about having, not only a color version of the story, a black and white version of the story, and the recon to watch, and I'll probably want to watch all 3. I am excited about being able to see a classic Doctor Who story again for the first time. It's nice to get another first Doctor story into the mix and get a little more completed on Season 3. The trailer for it looked interesting. So I'm pretty fired up about that as well. I like the first Doctor. He's really grown on me. He's kind of the one Doctor that I didn't have a lot of experience with when I really started focusing on this channel and working on this channel. I was always very open about that, but over the past 3 or 4 years, I've really had an opportunity to see a lot more of the first Doctor, some of which thanks to you guys. So a lot of you guys have sent first Doctor stories for me to watch. I pretty much got to see almost all of Season 2 before Season 2 even dropped, almost. And at the beginning of that year, I don't think I'd seen any of Season 2. So that was really, really nice. You guys have been a huge, huge support to the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So I've really enjoyed just learning more about the first Doctor and learning why he's held in such high regard. He's a great Doctor. William Hartnell's just so good in the role, and he's had such a plethora of good companions. Some not so good companions, but also some good companions. Number 2 on the list will be the second collection set, which we don't know what it is next. But the collection sets tend to be the things that get me excited the most. I absolutely love the collection box sets. One, I love getting these episodes remastered and looking possibly as good as we're ever going to get them. I love all of the behind-the-scenes stuff, the behind the sofa, the extras. And I love, of course, the optional updated effects that we get for a lot of seasons, with Season 25 getting all of its stories with optional updated effects. Yes! I love that. That's exactly what I wanted. So, and I love the fact they carry over the DVDs that had updated effects. They carry those over as well if you want to watch them. I mean, if you think about it, Season 20, the 7 stories that make up Season 20 and 5 Doctors, 6 of the 7 have optional updated effects. Only The King's Demons does not. All of the others, between the Blu-ray and the DVD, have optional updated effects. Heck, Enlightenment and the 5 Doctors have 2 different versions of updated effects. Prowl is a very happy guy with that box set, to say the least. So I'm really excited about finding out what the next set will be. I figure it's either going to be 21, 16, or Season 1. I've talked about that in other videos, but Season 21 would make the most sense. It's probably in really good shape. Probably the restoration is relatively easy compared to the other remaining seasons. Probably a lot of extras you can do there. You've got a lot of surviving people involved with that season left. So, and it would finish up the 80s, and we would have a run all the way from Season 17 all the way through Season 26. That makes really good sense. Season 16 you could go ahead and get another Tom out. And everybody seems to think 16 over 13. Although keep in mind that this fall will be the 50th anniversary of Season 13. So that could be my outlier. And I do believe that someone on Twitter did say that they had started doing restoration work for the original model of the Loch Ness Monster and Terror of the Zygons, that they're doing some restoration work on it. I have questions. Maybe Terror of the Zygons getting some updated effects. And I like the fact that lately they seem to be going very practical with the updated effects, like they did with the Rutan in Horror of Fang Rot, where they're really using a lot of practical effects and just adding some CG elements. I love that. It just looks a little more natural for classic Doctor Who. Now, personally, if Season 13 was to get some updated effects, you guys know I want Planet of Evil. I would love for Planet of Evil to get some updated effects. But if they did updated effects for Terror of the Zygons, I'm on board. technically, I don't think any story that season needs updated effects. I think all the effects look good, but I would be okay with it getting some for sure. And of course, we already have Pyramids of Mars with the Tales of the TARDIS version with updated effects. But I'm like most people. I think more than likely they're going to save 13 as Tom's final season, and they'll probably go ahead and do 16. I believe they already filmed a documentary for Stones of Blood when they were filming a documentary for the Graham Williams documentary. So I've been told. So I could see 16 coming. I could also see season 1. Maybe they want to go ahead and get another 60 season out. That there is a lot of episodes to restore there, with season 1 being mostly intact and it having, roughly 40 episodes. I forget exactly it has, and only missing 9 of them. So you're still looking at probably over 30 episodes of restoration work. I could see season 1 being the next 60 set. I've discussed that on the channel before, because Space Pirates needs a lot done with it. For the others, we definitely won't get season 4 and 5 yet. Hopefully Wheel in Space will either get animated, or maybe the BBC will ask Is Skinner to use her and her partner's animation for Wheel in Space, which is fantastic, I might add. So yeah, that's the thing I'm excited about. Probably the second most is finding out what that season is and getting it released. And then number 1 on the list is, of course, the Season 7 box set. I love Season 7. Season 7 is one of the GOAT seasons. It's so good. It has Inferno in it. You guys know I love Inferno. It's one of my favorite Doctor Who stories of all time. It also has Spearhead, which is probably going to look gorgeous. I know Peter Crocker has said Spearhead is pretty much 99.5% the same as it was on the original Blu-ray release, which I have. But I'm still looking forward to getting another version of it, because I love Spearhead. The only classic Who story that is just in true full HD, because it was shot entirely on film. And I think we're all looking forward to the massive restoration work done on Silurians and Ambassadors. Peter has been sharing screenshots for those. They look very impressive. And he's also been giving details on where they used color recovery and stuff to make the episodes look even better. So I'm looking forward to watching Ambassadors and Silurians again. And he even mentioned Inferno. At first they were just going to do, just kind of a standard upscaling on it. But he did say that the location work, the film location work, he did redo a lot of that from scratch. So the location scenes are going to look a lot better, or considerably better. Noticeably better, I think is what he said. So I think the studio stuff is not going to have too much tweaking, just probably a little mastering done. But the film work should look better. And there's quite a bit of film work in Inferno. So naturally, I'm excited about that. And of course, I know some people think the extras might be a little light. But considering there's not a lot of people left from this season, sadly. Sadly, most of the people involved with Season 7 have passed on. I'm excited about the extras. I'm really looking forward to that Malcolm Hulk documentary, because I really just don't know a lot about the man, to be honest, and I find him fascinating. Also Behind the Sofa, because I always just love Behind the Sofa. And then I think they all already have making ofs. And then the tribute to Nicholas Courtney should be great too. I'm really looking forward to that. So, and then the In Conversation with John Levine should be interesting. John Levine is quite the character. John Levine has a no filter. No filter. If you know about John Levine, you know about John Levine. He just speaks as... He's not one of those people that stops and goes, wait, should I say that? He just says what pops into his head, and it could be an interesting interview. So yeah, that's the thing I'm excited most about, is the Season 7 box set. We have a release date for that now, by the way, March 3rd. Super excited about it. That's only about a month and a half away. Very fired up. And then number 2 on the list is whatever the next box set's going to be. Then the Savage animation, and then Season 2, which I'm still excited about. I just don't get as fired up about current modern Doctor Who stuff as I do about classic Doctor Who news, because that's just, especially 70s Doctor Who news, because 70s is the golden era for me. I love 70s Who. Best decade of Who ever for me. So I want to know what you think and what you are fired up about this year. So comment down below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Unknown289, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate all of their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons and my YouTube members. I have a P.O. box down there and a link to the Amazon wishlist and the Amazon UK wishlist as well. If there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, I love fan mail. Most importantly, thank you for watching.